to the latest episode of Pollyanna Creative. This is my little YouTube channel on all the things that I've been making, knitting, stitching, crochet, embroidery, all those sorts of things. I know it's been a little while since I did my last one, so I actually do have a few things to show you. Possibly not as much as I should. I've had a fair bit of extra time in my life lately with all the coronavirus self-isolation, and I'm sure most people out there can relate, unless you happen to work in an essential service. One of my sisters is a nurse, so she's been still pretty busy, and my dad works in a supermarket, so he's been flat out lately. But I myself have been working from home for, I think it might be 3.5 weeks now. I'm really not sure. All the days are starting to roll into one, and I'm losing track of what day it is, let alone what week we're on. I think it'd have to be 3.5, 4 weeks, something like that. They've been working from home. I'm pretty lucky because I work in an accounting office that we can do all our work from home. So my computer's been set up so that I can log into my work computer remotely and pretty much just do everything the same as normal, except for less printing. Printing's been the only hassle. But so my life looks a bit different at the moment, and it's got its benefits, and it's, some things are a little bit more awkward. One of the benefits is that there is no travel time to and from work, so I've been getting ready for work, similar time frame, but then actually sitting at the computer at home when I would have normally been jumping in the car to drive into work. So I've been starting work earlier and then knocking off earlier. So I feel like I've got a lot more time in my days at the moment, which is actually a really nice feeling, especially as I don't mind spending time at home. There is the odd times that it is a bit hard not catching up with friends and that, but I'm lucky I've got 2 sisters and my parents that I live with, so I haven't been super lonely. But I have had extra time to make things, so without further ado, I shall move on to what I have been working on, which this one, as you can probably see, is actually coming along. So I now have sleeves attached. I've done the this ruffled sleeve. It's a rectangle that's gathered, sewn onto the wrong side, and then folded in half and gathered again and sewn onto the right. So it kind of has this like bubble effect. I'm not sure whether you can quite tell from the video, but it's kind of cool. I like it. I don't know whether best way to show it, but it does have this kind of bubble effect, not just a ruffled sleeve. So all that's left on this now is buttons down the front, and I'm thinking I will do some self fabric covered buttons, which I've never actually done before. I've got the kits to do them, but I've never done it, so that will be my next thing to try and work out. I can't imagine it's that difficult, but who knows, I might run into all sorts of troubles, but we're giving that one a shot. And also the hem, so it's still just raw edges at the hem. Now for those of you who have seen my last or some of my previous YouTube's videos, you will recognise this shirt. It has been unfinished for a very, very long time. It was in progress far before I even started my YouTube channel, so it's one that it would be nice to actually finish it off, but I've been taking my time on it. I've talked about it before, so if anyone actually wants to know what patterns that I've used to make it, then you'll just have to check some of the prior episodes. I can't actually remember which ones they are, but probably one of the earlier ones, some of the earlier ones. It's a pattern mashup, so the bodice is a shirt pattern. I can't remember the number currently. which it's an older pattern. I would have got it probably like 2010-ish. And then the sleeves are off another one, which is a more recent pattern. So the bodice is a Simplicity shirt. These are a McCall's M7. Ooh, I can't call. Yeah, I can't remember. If I can look it up, I shall write it in this little video along the bottom. In reverse. For those of you who are interested, but it's been a pretty simple pattern. I've just taken far too long to make it. The bodice is interlined. Yeah, interlined. So I held the two pieces of material together in just some white poly cotton, and the sleeves are unlined. And I think that's about all I can tell you about this, but this, hopefully, next time will be a finished project. Fingers crossed. I should be working on this right now. And I probably will once I finish videoing. And then, once I've done that, because I'm like really excited to sew at the moment, I will be making a dress, which I haven't quite figured out what dress and what material, and whether this will be the one, because I have a special occasion to make a special dress for, which is my sister's wedding, because she got engaged. Now I can't remember, I'm pretty sure it would have been after the last video I did, because it's been a while, but she's been engaged for a month now, just over a month, which this whole coronavirus issue has been a bit of a concern to her and her fiance, because they can't do a huge amount of wedding planning. They weren't wanting a long engagement, but they're kind of having to, because unless you're going to have a maximum of 5 people at your wedding, you just can't do it yet, and there's no time frame of when those restrictions might change, so everything they're booking in is all, if the restrictions are lifted, then we will go ahead on this day. So it's been a bit of a hard time for them, but means that I have extra time to make a dress, which means I should actually use that time to make a dress instead of taking forever to decide on what I'm making. So that's kind of exciting. That is a bright spot in all this self-isolation, is that I have a wedding dress guest dress to, hang on, what did I say? Wedding guest dress to make. Originally I was thinking, oh, maybe I would buy something, because, you know, how often does his sister get married? Well, I've got 2, so hopefully there'll be 2 weddings to attend as the sister of the bride, but making your own clothes can be sometimes, you've got that risk that what you've planned or what you've like pictured in your head does not happen that way, and dress ends up looking completely different, or your outfit. And because it's such a special wedding, I don't know whether I really want to be not happy with what I'm wearing. I don't want to be worrying about what I'm wearing on the day. I want to be, you know, fully enjoying it and not thinking about the clothes I'm wearing. So, but because there's delays on when they're going to be getting married, I have extra time, so I think I'll make a dress. If it doesn't work out, I can always buy one later. So I will be making a special dress. I have heaps and heaps of patterns, and I have quite a few nice materials. It's just picking which ones I'm going to use, and then I happen to go buy another pattern instead of actually using one of the ones I got, which I don't even know whether this will be the pattern I end up using, because I haven't decided. But I had to do some essential shopping at Spotlight the other day. I had to go into town anyway. I wasn't just going in for Spotlight. And I've been looking at sewing patterns online with my other sister, because she likes to do a bit of sewing. Not as into it as I am, but she likes to do a bit, so she'll come down to my sewing room. I'm getting messages on hopefully we're good. Yeah, we're good. So we were looking at sewing patterns online, and she came across a pattern that I have seen around a lot lately, and she really, really loves it. She loves the shirring on a lot of the dresses that you can see in the shops at the moment. So she wants to make herself one, which I wouldn't have bought the pattern myself, but because she's bought it, I might end up using it at some point. So Spotlight had a 2 for $12 sale, so I had to go into Spotlight and I had to buy this pattern. So this is the one that Julia's got. It has been pretty popular online. There's quite a few dresses if you search the Instagram hashtag. Is it M7946? There's a few on there, and I've seen that a lot of people are wanting to make it. So Julia's going to give that one a shot at some point. And because it was 2 patterns for $12, you had to buy a second pattern. So I got this one, which I've been looking at for a long time. It was really popular there a while back. Lots and lots of people were making it. It is Gertie's pattern for Butterick. Yep, Butterick. B6453. There is tons and tons on Instagram on this pattern because so many people have made it. I'm not really keen on either of the skirt options because my hips are wider than the rest of my body, like slightly out of proportion, more than slightly. I'm not so keen on the pencil skirt idea, and then the gathered skirt. I've made a few dresses with the gathered skirt on them, and they tend to, unless they hit at exactly the right spot, they tend to just make my waist look extra chunky. So I'm thinking I'll just do like a half circle, 3/4 circle skirt, so that it's still a full skirt, but not the same bulk that you would get with all those gathers. I hadn't really thought about this pattern much in the past because it's got spaghetti straps. I'm not so keen on it, but I've been wearing like a t-shirt or a long sleeve under a couple of ready dresses that I've bought that are like this, and I really like that look. So because I was thinking, it's only like a special occasion one when you've planned all your underwear around it. But now that I know I am wearing this sort of style with a t-shirt or a long sleeve underneath, and it's just like kind of comfier, easy to throw on sort of clothing, then I'll probably be keener to make one myself. And also the benefits of this style when you make it yourself is you can make it fit properly. So, no chance of gaping. You can have the neckline as high as you want it. All those sorts of things. And the other thing I thought was instead of having such fine straps, you could make thicker straps. And these have got like little sliders on them, like a similar idea to like a bra strap. But I've seen some people just tie them, so I reckon that's a kind of cool idea as well. And if they're wider, I think you could put like buttons or press studs on them as well. Maybe not press studs, you probably want something that's pretty sturdy. But yeah, so I went and bought another pattern. I did not need another pattern, but I'll probably use it, most likely. I've said that about a lot, but we'll see with this one. So that's my latest purchases. I tend to not buy too much sewing things anymore. I kind of hesitated when I said that. I've done a lot of buying of sewing and craft related things in my life, but I think I've cut back a fair bit in recent times, just because I've got so much I can use, and I've been given so many things, and yeah, if I see something I really, really like, I'm still going to buy it though. I'm pretty sure most crafting people can sympathise with me. There's just so many nice things out there that you may never ever see again, and they just like suit your personality so well, or they seem like a really good idea at the time. Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to keep defending myself any longer. It's the fact. It's what happens. Oh, this was another spend, not crafting related, semi-crafting related, because these are kept in my newly painted sewing room. These are, I've got 3 mugs, so I can have cuppas down here whenever I want, and they are all Australian birds, and I just love them. So I just got them at Myers. They are designed in Australia, Maxwell and Williams. I can't actually see Marani Ferbero. I'm going to say that wrong. I can't actually read the signature properly. But they're at Myer. I saw them at Harris Scarf as well, and there's lots and lots of designs. They're not all birds, but I love the birds. I think you hang on. Let me show it, then you can read it yourself if that focuses. I don't think that's focusing. This is my really bad quality phone. Well, it's not really bad, it's just not, top end. So that's a gang cockatoo. Might be wrong there. And a galah. I just love a galah. I love a pink bird, and we haven't had galahs flying around lately. We go on a walk in the morning because Mum and I still been doing their morning walks, except now both sisters will come along. The nurse, Jane, the nurse, she will come when she's not working, or not starting until a bit later. And Julia just has to come along anyway because she's working from home now. And a cockatoo. There's the neighbours across the road have a cockatoo, and they've had like all my life. A pet one, and his name's Jacko. And we can sometimes hear Jacko because he's a really noisy bird. Cockatoos are. We don't see these down around my area. I think they're more of a northern Australian bird, maybe. But definitely the cockatoos and the galahs. Anyway, I'm really happy with them. I really like birds, and we used to have some, like pet ones, when I was a kid, but we don't have them any longer. And one day I actually want to get another bird cage with some birds. Train them to talk and all that sort of thing, which sounds really good in theory, but we'll see whether it ever happens or not. But I kind of just subconsciously keep getting bird things, so that was one of them. When we went for a holiday at Broken Hill, was that like 2 years ago, I bought myself a cross stitch pattern that's cockatoos. It's another bird thing. Major project. I have not started it yet because I'm still working on this project, which is also cross stitch, which I've shown you in the past, but I'm actually working on it, which again is more birds. So there's a bit of a theme going here, and I bought this pattern before I cottoned onto the fact that I like birds. So yeah, I've just subconsciously kind of had a thing for them. So this one is getting so close to finished. I am now on the background. I finished all the berries. I think the berries were what I was showing you last time I put it on a video, but I've now finished them. I backstitched around them and I've started the background, and I don't know whether you can see the background or not. It's weird because in some lights you can see it really well and some you just can't see it at all. And it's kind of really disheartening when you're doing something that takes so long and you can't see that you've done anything at all. Except the only thing I can keep going back to is it makes these leaves look whiter. It's the pattern. I've done 2 already. I may as well just finish the 3rd. And I actually am. So last night when I started, I'd just done 1 repeat of the pattern, whether you can see that, along the bottom. And then I think I spent 2 or 3 hours doing all this all the way through here. I didn't finish until 11 o'clock. I kind of just got into the groove of doing it. And when you just I wasn't really excited about it. I was listening to something. I can't remember what I was doing. But you just kind of, get into the rhythm. And just keep going. It's 11 o'clock and everyone else had gone to bed an hour early, and I was just still sitting in my chair doing black work. Black work in a non-black thread colour. But this is getting so close to finish, and once I finish this, then I can start my cockatoo cross stitch. So that's my inspiration at the moment. And yeah, it's getting cooler at night now. Well, cooler during the day as well. I think we're coming into a week that's pretty chilly. And because daylight savings is finished, it gets dark early, so that's when I kind of start picking up these sorts of things. It's dark outside and just, curl up in a chair, cat on your lap, cup of tea. It's like my granny hobbies, which I really enjoy, so I'm not sad about that. So that's the progress I've been doing on that. And this. So last time I showed you, this, being a doll, had a face, but that was it. Oh, and some arms. Now she's finished, and she's like really big, which is why I'm holding her back so far, because not going to fit in the camera. It's the first time I've ever made one. There is flaws, there is mistakes, but I am really happy with her. She's pretty sturdy. I really like the face. I don't know, she's got the same issue as me. Fringe needs a cut, which I probably could cut it a bit further because I cut this one, but I'm kind of nervous I'll cut too much off and it won't grow back. So I'll probably give it a trim every so often when I'm feeling confident. But I'm really, really happy with her face. I'm so pleased with how the embroidery turned out. The eyes, the pattern says to do them, get them in the right angle. You stitch the blue with 2 strands, but they're one of each shade of blue, which kind of makes them sparkle. And I don't know whether the camera's really picking that up, but in real life, they're kind of maybe that angle. You can kind of see that they sparkle. Yeah, they're not flat anyway, so it's kind of sparkly blue. It's like real people blue eyes. Don't look at mine. Mine are looking green at the moment. Beside these blue eyes. Anyway, I'm really happy with her. She fits the dress apart from her neck's too fat. Either that or my neckline on the dress is too thin. I can't get the top press done up, but losing hair. I'm really happy with her. She's got knees, so she can bend them when she sits down. She's got elbows, so she can bend her arms easily, but they're nice and squishy. She's got ears. Show the back of her hair, little ponytail. I had all sorts of dramas doing the hair. You're supposed to wrap it around a piece of stiff cardboard and it gives you the dimensions. I didn't have any stiff cardboard. I had the boxes that these came in, so I sticky taped them together and wrapped around that, and then as I got further along, the sticky tape kind of collapsed and I ended up with wool and sticky tape and cardboard everywhere. And it took me forever to undo all the wool. Like forever, hours of undoing knots, which is not the first time I've had to undo knots in wool. Happens when you have a cat and you leave it out, but you don't ever intentionally do that. So the second time I wrapped around a book, which was a bit smaller than the dimensions, so her ponytail, I don't know whether you can hear that, but that's the fire siren going off. It's really, really loud, so I'm guessing you can hear that. I'm just going to stop this video for a bit. Okay, fire siren has stopped. The fire station is literally, there's one house and then the fire station, so it's pretty noisy here when it happens. Anyway, talking about her hair. So her ponytail's a bit shorter than it otherwise might have been, and got a little pink bow at the top, which you can change, so I can make it match her outfit. At the moment it is matching her outfit because I used the same ribbon on her dress, like so. So I'm really happy about it. Probably should make shoes. Maybe shoes. And then we can make some more outfits. But I've kind of been doing other things lately, so we'll see what happens. Sorry, I'm just making sure the video has actually started. This is going to be a really, really random video. I feel like I'm in a chatty mood, and then there's been some phone dramas and fire sirens, so anyway, I'm really sorry about that, but I hope you don't mind too much. So, Dolly's done. I need a name. If anyone has any suggestions for names, let me know. I'm always interested in names. I've recently I got a new laptop, which will hopefully mean that I can upload videos a little bit easier. And it was really good timing because I've been using it every single day from working from home now, which I think means it's partly tax deductible now. But I renamed my laptop. That's where I was going with that. So my laptop's name is Vera. My old one was Hattie. Got Vera and Hattie. But this little lady does not have a name yet. So if anyone has any suggestions, let me know. What else? Oh, so I did tell you that my sister got engaged, and I already have a wedding present made, which is this. It's made, it's just not finished putting it together as such. Now, I know this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but we are Christians, so, and this is a hymn that has meant a lot to my sister when she's gone through some hard times in the past. So it's What a Friend We Have in Jesus. It's a pretty well-known hymn, and I just typed it up on Word, or I think I copied and pasted it off somewhere, printed it out and traced it onto, this is not very good quality material, it's literally what we had in the cupboard, because I have been trying to limit my trips into town. I've backed it in white felt, and sorry, I tell you, we're having all sorts of interruptions at the moment. I think that was just a dog walking past. There's been a lot more people walking past lately, and kids on bikes and all those sort of things. So, backed it in just white felt, which is quiet, it's looking a bit crinkly. I'm hoping the crinkliness comes out a bit. Planning on framing it. So, there's 3 verses. I just literally backstitched all the words. I don't know whether you can actually see that. I got really, really sick of letters. But I think I'm really good at stitching words now. And then this, I'm not very good at designing my own pictures. So this is it was a painting that I copied off Google Images, but it was an actual painting. So then I went over it with a pen and traced off the lines that I thought might be important, and then traced it onto this and then embroidered it. So it was a colour like painting, or I think it was a painting, not a photograph, and now it is just kind of an impressionistic sort of image. Try and get that there. But Jane's fiance is a farmer, and he has sheep and crops. So the sheep are for him. Jane's a bit of a horse crazy girl, or she was when she was a kid. She doesn't actually have a horse, we've never actually owned horses. I don't even think her fiance is that keen on them, so she might be waiting a while. But the horse is for her. And it's kind of like an Australian thing. So I'm hoping that they will like that hanging up on their wall. The actual words have a fair bit of meaning to my sister, so I think she'll appreciate that. Oh gosh, what's my phone doing again? Yes, so that's that. That took me a while. That was like weekend 1 of working from home. I spent the whole Saturday and Sunday doing this. Oh no, I did that over Easter actually. I did it Friday, Saturday. I think I finished it Monday, because Jane was out at her fiance's. So because she wasn't home, I could actually work on it. Yeah, that is actually all I have to show you. I feel like I've been pretty busy. This morning I made a cake, which is a new recipe, and I would have put a video in this, added it onto the end, except that it's really, really ugly, so I'm not going to share it. And we haven't tasted it yet. I've only licked the container. That bit tastes really good, so I'm kind of keen for actually eating the cake. It's a pear and ginger cake from Women's Weekly Cookbook, which is a book I only pull out when I've actually got a lot of time, because most of the recipes are really complicated and they have ingredients that we just never have. I think the only one we didn't have this time was fresh ginger, so I put in like the minced ginger from a jar, So 1 substitute, that's going pretty good. Normally there's like heaps. But Jane's fiance got given some pears, and he said he'd take them, so, and then he gave them to Jane, and then Jane's brought them home, and then I've cooked with them. So that's where the pears came from. Then it's also got like orange in it, ginger obviously, a lot of brown sugar. It's an upside down cake. This is making me really hungry just talking about it. So that's really good. I might actually talk about it next time. So I made that this morning, and then I made some pizzas. Tried a new recipe. So last Saturday, I don't know how many of you follow Leah Itzinus on Instagram, but she is like really, really good at cooking and baking and fair bit of healthy eating. She's got a few. I've got one of her recipe books. I think she's got like, she calls the Bear Guide, so balanced and realistic eating, which I don't have that. That's kind of pricey, but she puts up a heap of free recipes, and lately with the coronavirus self-isolation thing, she's been doing some live videos on Instagram and YouTube, so I definitely recommend checking her out. She's got some really, really tasty things. Some things are really, really easy, and then she's been trying some bit more complicated things and doing it live as well. Like I think she made gnocchi, which I would call that complicated. I've made her gnocchi once out of her recipe book. I think this is a different recipe that she did this time, but some things on there are really, really good. Anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent. What I was actually trying to say was, I think it was last Friday, she did a live on making bagels. Now, bagels are not really a thing in Australia at all. You'd be lucky to find them in a supermarket. Yeah, I don't think I've hardly seen any. Maybe I just don't get it out enough, but they're not really an Australian thing. So I don't really know what they taste like, but she had this super easy bagel recipe. She made it live. I know I didn't watch the live because I was working, but I watched how it stays up 24 hours on Instagram. 2 ingredients. So it was 1.5 cups of flour, self-raising flour, 1 cup of Greek yogurt, and she shows you how to make it into a dough and then roll it into like bagel shapes, and then you cook it for like 10 minutes. I can't remember. The recipe is on her Instagram, so I will link her in here. I'll put a handle on here. They're not like proper bagels, because proper bagels you've got to I think it's a yeast dough maybe. I don't know. You got to boil it and then cook it, and it sounds really complicated. These were super easy. They're kind of more like a scone lightness. They're not really heavy. But I made them last Saturday for brekkie. Really, really yummy. Really, really simple. I'll be doing that again. But in her live, she talked about using the dough as a pizza base. So same dough, like the same 2 ingredients. She literally only made, I think, 2 bagels in the live, just to cut down on the rolling and shaping time. And then she cooked some of the extra dough as a pizza base. So I tried that for lunch today, and it worked really, really well. So again, 1 cup of Greek yogurt, 1.5 cups of self-raising flour. You make it into dough, roll it out. I made mine into like 4 like single serve pizza shape. Okay, still having issues with my phone. I think it turns out I don't have enough storage, so I shall have to fix that soon. But I think I got a temporary fix, so I can keep talking to you about, what was I talking about? Pizzas, maybe? I think I was talking about pizzas. Anyway, use the dough, cut it into 4, roll it flat, fry it in the frying pan, a little bit of salt and oregano and olive oil, and that's when it gets cooked, so that when you put your toppings on it and it goes in the oven, that's just to melt the cheese. I think that's all I really needed to tell you on that. I have photos of the bagels. I'll pop them at the end because they look really good. The pizzas, we ate them too quick to take good photos, so sorry about that. You'll just have to make your own. And I'll I'll write Leah's handle here so you can look it up in Instagram. The other thing I'll put photos of at the end is I made my friend a birthday present, and I can't show you it because her birthday was on Thursday, so I've already given it to her. I dropped it in her mailbox actually, so this is really weird coronavirus isolation rules. But I used a drawing that she had done for an Instagram challenge like a year ago, where you know the sort where they have like a prompt each day and you draw a picture and you put it on. And she started doing one of them. I don't think anybody ever finishes them. But one of the pictures she drew was just like a really basic house, but well, it is a really basic house. It's got a couple of really cute details, like there's little love hearts coming out the chimney instead of smoke, and that sort of thing. So she bought herself an embroidery kit a few months ago and tried teaching herself how to do it, and she's really good at it without any teaching. I told her to look up YouTube if she got stuck on anything, but she's going really well. And I wanted to kind of show her that you don't have to stick to a kit. The kits can be a really good way to get started and get some supplies and have some direction on how to start. But once you know the stitches, you don't have to have a kit. You can stitch anything you want. So I kind of wanted to show her that. So I used her design and then I just literally copied it and embroidered it and in this little hoop. Framed it in a hoop. I gathered the edges on the back and just like pulled them in, and I put a couple of little stickers. One that said it was designed by Sarah and stitched by Polly. And because I don't really have any nice stickers, they were just on little sticky labels. But I did put my Pollyanna Creative sticker in the middle, so that bit looked classy. Classy or full of myself? I don't know, one of the two. So that was another little project I did, and I'll pop some photos in here pretty much now because I'm probably running out of storage on my phone. I'm really hoping this is videoing at the moment. Sorry, I'm really having dramas today. But thanks for putting up with my dramas. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please do the thumbs up and hit subscribe. Really, really appreciate it. And thanks for following along on my crafting projects, some of which are actually moving. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time. Hopefully in the not too distant future. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sane, and please all enjoy your own crafting projects. Until then, see ya.